Welcome to Martini Time. It's a beautiful day here in Blackstone. The sun is out. The people are mowing lawns. It's a beautiful day. And Blackstone is the center of the world, but then you too are the center of the world. So I didn't do a talk last night because, well, I just didn't have the urge, So let's see what the frog's going to bring up tonight. It's an interesting thing. I have some friends are sitting in the living room while I give the talk. So what are you going to talk about? And I said, I don't know. So I went in to mix my martini. And this is usually the case. When I'm empty, when my mind's a virgin, I give birth to an idea. It's a divine inception. See, the virgin birth is a metaphor. It's you. If you're empty, and you can have an insight. You too can have a talk. You too can find your word. So what was the talk title that I came up with while I was mixing my martini? Don't hang from the cross of thought. Now, over the Easter weekend, I spent a lot of time talking about the metaphorical implication or the metaphorical way of understanding the cross and the crucifixion. I guess I did 2 or 3 talks on it, maybe more. But then I'm always talking about this. The way to think and see metaphorically. And you can't do that until you get a virgin mind. Now, a virgin mind, basically, is not knowing and being okay with not knowing. So I'm coming to my talk. I got to do it at 5 o'clock. I don't have to do it, but I mean that's my schedule, and I'm going to do it. And I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. So I make my martini, and I'm stirring it, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And then the idea comes. So the inception, the idea comes in an empty mind. Now, an empty mind is not clinging to thought. Now, what would the thought be that I might cling to? I don't know what to talk about. Oh, my God. Well, I won't do it. Or if I do it and I don't know what I'm going to talk about, I'll stand here and go, a deer in the headlights, you see. So I was okay with not knowing what I was going to talk about. So that's the virgin mind. It's okay with being empty. It's okay with not being certain. It's okay with not being able to choose. It's okay. So that okayness means I'm empty. And I'm not empty if I'm clinging to a fear or any anxiety. So the empty mind is clear of fear. And if it's clear of fear, it's clear of future. You see, because fear, the 2 F's, fear and future, go together. Fear is about the future. It's never about this moment. You never have fear in the moment because fear is about what's going to happen. If you're still alive, you can't fear. Think about if you are alive and it's just this, if you are alive and it's just this being alive, there's no fear. Unless you have the thought of the next moment, which I might be dead. So fear and being here now are incompatible. And being here now is empty. Because if you're here now, you're not clinging to any thought. And if you're not clinging to any thought, you're not clinging to any fear. And if you're not clinging to any fear, you're not clinging to the future. You see? Now this, so the whole cross, don't cling to the cross of thought, means that if you cling to a thought, you're not going to be resurrected. If you cling to a thought, you're not going to be here. And if you're here, you're resurrected. I'm alive. And life is joyous. when you're here. But if you want to be there, or you don't want to be there, you want to be back there, or you want to be there, but you want future to be a safe place, a better place. So the good Christians say when you die, oh, they went to a better place. Now what does that mean? Well, it means I don't want to be here. I want to be in a better place. You see, so that is clinging to the thought that here is no good because I don't feel alive here. And why don't I feel alive here? Because I want to be there. I sound like George Carlin or Bud Abbott and Lou Costello. Where's here? Who's here? I don't know. What's here? So it's so simple we can't conceive it. We can't understand it. We can't see it. Why? Because you have to give up thought. You have to be a virgin mind. You have to be empty. You can't cling to anything, any idea, you see. The mind is a sensitive womb. Any thought will cling to it and create a baby in there. And that baby will be a demon, Rosemary's baby. So you want to have an empty womb. You want to have an empty mind. It always is open, always open to divine conception of an insight, a creative idea. Knowing. If you don't know what to do, empty yourself. Be okay with not knowing what you don't know. Be okay with not knowing what to do. That's very difficult to do. Oh, I got to know. People will think I'm foolish. People will think I'm a failure. I have to know what to do. Because if I don't know what to do, who am I, you see? I'm a person who knows what to do. My identity is established on choosing what to do. What do you want? Do you want eggs or pancakes? Oh, I want eggs. So I choose myself. I'm a person who chooses eggs or pancakes. But if I can't choose, well, then I'm nobody. And then somebody else will choose for me, taking me out of my misery. When I give away a martini glass to a couple, invariably, the woman will be the first. Oh, I like that one. And the husband is standing there, and he can't choose. And so the wife looks and sees his discomfort. She, oh, how about this one, honey? And he says, oh, that's the one I wanted. See, so the male identity is the one who chooses. I'm the chooser. So naturally, we have to, so when we're in a situation where we can't choose, we're into you see, and somebody else chooses for us. Or we take medication or shoot ourselves. But anyway, the point is that we are deathly afraid of having a virgin mind. We're deathly afraid of being here. And we're deathly afraid of fear. Maybe I'll take that backward. That doesn't make sense. But the point is that thought, you see, is fear-based in that it takes us away from being here. Where is that fellow? Oh, he's lost in thought. Or you're driving a car and suddenly you don't even know where you are. You've been lost in thought. We all catch ourselves staring. We're just sitting in some group and suddenly we notice that I'm just staring blankly at space. Where am I? I'm lost in thought. I'm not here. My body's here. But I'm off in my mind on a little flying carpet of thought, you see. Whoa, I'm gone, you see. So being here is basically not clinging to thought. Checking my time. So how do you get off the cross then? Well, you can't just get off of it and say, I'm not going to be attached to thought. Because thought and thinking is like a gravitational force. It's induced by our culture. We're a thinking culture. Everything is built by thought. Everything in this room was a thought. Everything. Look around. What isn't a thought? You have to go outside and find a tulip And then you say, oh, well, that was God's thought. You see? Or if I say, well, you go find a tulip, now that tulip is a thought. But what if I look at the tulip and I get my virgin mind, and suddenly that tulip suddenly becomes luminous. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. It's mysterious being, you see. So suddenly when I see the mystery and the awesomeness of being, I'm not lost in thought. I'm not thinking about it. You see. And we have these moments, but we don't have a map in which to place them. We have to go to a movie, like Avatar. And so Avatar was a marvelous movie because it created a series of awesome scenes. The flying mountains, awesome. Pandora's forest at night, awesome. In that awesome, you had a virgin mind. It wasn't, oh, I've seen this before, when do we leave? They've done that before. Nah. This was awesome. Little windows of now. Little windows of being free from the cross of thought. But as soon as you're in a known world, as soon as you are in a familiar neighborhood, as soon as you're on a map where you know everybody's place, you're in thought. Everything is named. Everything has a tag on it. Everything is labeled. You can look up each thing and get a dictionary and an encyclopedia and just keep going into it, but it's all named, you see. It's all thought. And we're so conditioned to that we don't even realize it, that we're lost in thought. We're all hanging from a cross of thought. And there's thorns around our head. There's thorns. You see, there's thorns around our head when we're clinging to thought, because thought is an avoidance of being here. And we're not here. We're separated from here. And the Buddha says the cause of our suffering is our separation from being here. So when we identify with thought as a self, a thinker, I'm a thinker, you see, Rodin's thinker. I'm the thinker, you see. What is that thinker but a thought? It's the thought of me as a thinker. And so my whole identity, when I hang from the cross of thought, is the suffering of the thinker. Descartes, I think, therefore I am. I exist because I'm a thinker, you see. And when we really get down to it, the thinker is a thought that believes itself. The thinker is a thought believed in. And once you have that one thought believed in, you build a whole house of cards of thought. And it's all built on that one little card at the bottom, or maybe a little bitty, I don't know, you build a house of cards, it might be a little pyramid. Like that, right? Start with that, and you build up. If you question that, the whole house of cards comes down. The whole existence of thought comes down. And now we're just here, like Mr. Mr. Bean, when he comes into the opening logo, and he's dropped like an alien, you know, whoop, and he runs around like, where am I? Love Mr. Bean. So when we let go of thought, we just drop into here. And suddenly my God, I'm alive. My God, I'm home. My God, my exile is over. My God, I'm outside. I'm pardoned I've escaped the house of thought. And I no longer have fear. What's there to fear? I'm here. What's there to fear? I'm here. There is no future when I'm here. Oh, I know there's a future, but that's on that. That future's on this. It's not here, you see. This future is a thought future. But the here is not. There's no future here. If I think of the future, I'm here thinking about the future. I'm here fearing the future. But here, there is no future. And if there is no future, there's no thought, because thought's all about the future or the past. Thought is time. Thought is thinking. Thinking is time. Time is something you can measure. How long does it take me to think these thoughts? Well, you can measure it. You see. But here has no ruler. How are you going to measure here? You got a here ruler? You can't find it. You run around with a ruler. I can't find here. It won't fit in the ruler. It won't fit in time. Here won't fit in time. And you can't get here unless you let go of time. But that doesn't mean you can't catch a bus. It just means you don't live there. You don't live there. That's it. So don't hang from the cross of thought. Don't hang. Be a virgin mind. Let the Christ open up in you. Let the resurrection open up. Let it happen. Just drop off the cross. Pop. Thanks for dropping in.